Welcome everybody to Review Please Video Game Edition. I'm your host Jesus, and with me as always is Elle, and today we're going to be talking about Roboquest. Elle, how's it going?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Well, was
Excited
there a pause
here to
there?
be. Oh, sorry. I was giving you time because I thought you were going to say something else.
No.
Whoops. But I'm excited to talk about Roboquest today. A very interesting and fun game to get into. Kind of similar to the previous game we talked to in a way of you can turn your brain off in this game.
Yeah.
But I'm excited.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to talk about Roboquest as well. Man, this game kind of took me by surprise. And I've been enjoying this game a lot. Very much. Who knows where it will end up on my list of games at the end of the show. But for now, let us talk about Roboquest. Let's dive in. So, what is Roboquest? Roboquest is a fast paced FPS with roguelike mechanics playable in single player or two player co op. Shoot and run your way through randomly generated environments, pick up upgrades along the way, and blast the powerful big bad bosses you encounter. Upgrade your base camp and unlock persistent upgrades to customize your playstyle and dive further on each subsequent run. That was straight from the Steam page. And this was developed by Rise Up Studios and published by Starbreeze Publishing. Elle, I want to start with your top level thoughts. What did you think about Roboquest? How did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it?
Yeah.
What were your top level thoughts for this roguelite game?
So overall, I enjoyed Roboquest has a really cool and art style that very much reminds me. I don't know if I think we might have mentioned this off mic before, where Roboquest kind of reminds me of Borderlands a little bit.
Yeah.
As far as the art style, it has that really unique art style. The gameplay is very easy to get into. It's very quick. It's very simple. Overall, I enjoyed this a lot. Roboquest is very fun to just basically get into and just start shooting enemies and just going into a level and killing enemies and having a cool time picking different weapons. Of, do you want to have a big shotgun, a rocket launcher, or do you want a bow and arrow, and just unique ways of getting through the level. Overall, it's super fast paced and fun when you're going into the battle, and then also unlocking the other weapons that you can get or upgrades that you can do. I will say there was a moment where I did kind of get tired of playing Roboquest. I'm not gonna lie to you. But we can go into that a little bit later. But I think that overall, it's, if you want to just kind of similar to the previous game that we reviewed, Rollerdrome, what's good about this is literally you're not really focusing on much. It's just what's in front of you, shooting the enemies. There is somewhat of a story, kind of like Rollerdrome, but it's all in the background. It's very small. It doesn't play a big part into it. And it's very, but
I would agree.
I'd say overall it's very fun and quick to get into because the battles aren't super long. Really, even the bosses, to me, they're not as difficult, but they're fun to play against, I should say. They're pretty fun to play against. Yeah.
I would agree for this. On the story side, I would agree for the most part. I mean, there's cutscenes from once you complete a zone, it gives you a little cutscene until you get to your next zone, when you unlock the city and stuff like that. So there are cutscenes and stuff. But I would agree, for the most part, the story is not that great. There are cool little collecting things that you can get in the background that give you story bit elements about the particular zone that you're in. When you're in the desert area, you'll find logs about life in the desert, and when you're in the city, you'll find more stuff. And so I agree in that respect. For me, I love Roboquest. I've loved this so much. I think I'm becoming a roguelite person because I love Hades. I love Hades, and I love Slay the Spire. I love Inscription, and now I'm I guess I love Roboquest. So I guess I am a roguelite person. I love this idea of coming back, especially with Hades. A lot of ways, Roboquest is very similar to Hades, where you have upgrades that you do outside of your runs that allow you to grow stronger for when you do your runs and stuff like that. And I think I like that pattern, that pacing for it, where you do your run, you have your things that you can upgrade while you're in the run, and then after the run, you have other things that you can upgrade to ensure that future runs will be successful. one thing I like about Roboquest 2 is that like as you play along and as you complete objectives and all of that, you unlock other robots. I guess I was gonna say heroes
Yeah.
that have different abilities that are unique to them. There's like the commando, there's the ranger. I can't remember the name of just the base dude. Is it just commando? No, commando was somebody like I believe commando is like more tanky, and ranger is like you can go invisible and do more DPS and stuff like that. They have a little cool javelin. Then there was other robots too. I mainly just always played the ranger. Once I unlocked the ranger, I just always used him. I liked going invisible. I liked having javelins. I would always make
Yeah.
my javelins like do elemental damage and stuff like that. And then just being able to go invisible and get out of a situation if like it looks like I'm taking a lot of damage. Um,
Yeah.
so like there was just a lot that I really enjoyed about RoboQuest. Oddly, I never got tired of playing RoboQuest. I feel like I could constantly play RoboQuest. I'm sure at some point I might feel that way, but for me, like I was just enjoying my run and figuring out how I can make my robot better. Figuring out where I got really invested in trying to find the collectibles because I actually was interested in learning about the lore of this world and why things are happening the way they are. So I got really invested in it. You don't have to be invested in it, but
Yeah.
I did. And I
Yeah.
think that's just me really just enjoying the vibe of the game to begin with because I think there's
Yeah.
humor in the background of it too, like the interactions
Yeah.
and stuff and some of the dialogue when you actually talk to people. And some of the robots are just off the wall weird.
Yes.
Boss fights though, I will say like my biggest complaint is that boss fights never felt hard. They never felt like a challenge.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah.
always felt a little too easy. Like I could easily just like, oh, there's this laser beam. I can jump up here. I crouch
Yep.
here, or I just avoid this. Like they never that's my biggest complaint with RoboQuest is that the boss fights never felt challenging, whereas I felt like just going through the course up until the boss was the more challenging part, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's how you felt, Elle,
Yeah.
but yeah, those are my top level thoughts. We can get down and dirty with some of the aspects. I guess
Yeah.
I'll start with the boss fights. Like, how did you feel about the boss fights? Did you find them easy or anything? Because like for me, again, they
Yeah.
felt easy. I felt like the run up to them was more difficult at times than the bosses
Yeah. No.
themselves.
Definitely. This game is a little bit deceptive where sometimes the run is way harder than the boss fight is. Because the boss, you can pick up really quick when it comes to a boss fight, like their pattern, just like
Yeah.
of how they attack, what they do when they're kind of get down to a certain point in health. Sometimes what would happen is I'd get overwhelmed in the run up to them because of how many robots there were. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, I gotta
Sea of robots that
pull
get
out
thrown at you. Yeah.
yeah, it's just like a sea of them. And so that was a lot more difficult to try to survive and keep your health up. Whereas the boss, because it was one boss, most of the time I'd be like, okay, I just got this one to focus on. I know his pattern. You know, like the first boss that you fight, the one that kind of digs and pounds into the ground. I'm like, oh, I just have to jump over this 2 or 3 times and then keep hitting him, dodge his dig move, and then eventually you just beat him. You know, it's very simple. But like it, every other boss after that, it's like they have a very simple pattern that they follow. It's just random with the runs leading up to them that like there'd be sometimes it'd be like, oh, okay, this is simple. You know, I'm just hiding behind here, shooting, poking out, going back, making sure I don't get hit too much. But then there'd be sometimes where you just go into some run and there's like 30 robots and you're just like, oh crap, like I gotta be careful. Like
There's
you'd
30
lose to
robots
it, you know?
and some of them are like shielded and stuff like that. You gotta
Yeah,
go,
exactly.
oh crap. And some of them have elemental damage and some of them will hack you and like prevent you
Yeah.
from like using your abilities and stuff. And like
Exactly.
some of them may like, you know, cause you to like run in a different direction or something like that. It's like, it's an interesting like dynamic with that, but yeah. It's very wild. For me, like, I'm curious about like your setup. Did you have a robot that you played with, or did you always just play with the default little guy? I can't remember the name of the default guy. I just always played the ranger after I unlocked him.
Yeah. But no, I think for the most part, I enjoyed the default guy a lot. I did try some of the other robots, but I always went back to the default robot guy just because I liked the way that he looked and he was very fun and quick to play with.
Yeah.
Overall, but like I will say what I enjoyed a lot about this is the selection of weapons that you could choose between.
Yeah.
Those were a lot of fun. Like that was a lot of fun. Like I got to a certain point where I had like some sort of SMG or something. I never really went for a rocket launcher or anything like that. It was
Yeah.
always like some sort of like SMG. But what I enjoyed was I got to a point to where I could get the bow and arrow, and the bow and arrow was a lot of fun, even though it
Man.
wasn't as effective to kill like as many people. You just take your time with it, but it felt very fun to kind of just aim and just shoot. And so I found like those type of special weapons very fun to play with.
Oh yeah, like for me, like the bow and arrow, the bow was mine.
Yeah.
At one point, I had dual
Yeah.
crossbows. I was just pew,
Yeah.
pew, pew, and just shooting them out. It was great. Like I will say, like for me, like the because most bows were like high in crit damage, and like it
Yeah.
works really well with like the ranger. And like I do want to point
Yeah.
this out, like some of the guns are geared more towards a certain play style. For like me,
Yeah.
the bow worked really well with my ranger because I was using the javelin. I would go invisible, then I would pop out with the bow and just like get like crit hits and stuff, like headshots and all that. Like so, like I found like using the bow, using dual crossbows, and even just being simple and using the starting pistol, um, like worked a lot for me. Um,
Exactly. Yeah.
I never really like messed with SMGs. Like once I was able to start getting the bows and stuff, I would always just immediately drop
Yeah.
everything, grab the bow. Um, at when I played as the commando, the
Mhm.
commando was more tanky.
Yeah.
So I tried using like grenade launchers and stuff and all of that just to see, and like I just
Uh-huh.
didn't like the way they would shoot. I didn't like the time it would take for the grenade to like go off and all this other stuff. Um, but I noticed like with him that I really enjoyed using like getting up and close and personal with like shotguns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I thought it worked really well. So I do think like each gun has its own way that it works with not just like your play style, but also with like how the robot can respond. Because based on like if you're more tanky, then it makes more sense to get like the power of fist things that you can get, because you can get
Yeah.
like little power fist. So it makes more sense to have like the tanky guy with the power fist running up. If you're
Yeah.
like if you're the ranger, it makes sense to have like a sniper or a bow, because it does more crit damage and you're able to stay far away and go invisible and stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of like combinations that you could do with these robots and stuff. The one thing
Yeah.
I would love to do, and something that we talked about doing and then we just never did it, because time things. It's hard to do
Uh-huh.
when I'm living on the other side
Yeah.
of the world, which is we want to do co-op, and maybe after this,
Yeah.
once I'm back stateside and all the moving has settled down for both of us, maybe we'll come back, revisit with the co-op. Probably not redo this review or anything, but
Yeah.
actually sit down
Exactly.
and do the co-op stuff, because I would love to see how this plays with when two people are together on the run.
Oh yeah.
Because I will say, like, um, for me,
Mm-hmm.
after a while, and it didn't disrupt my enjoyment of the game at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like I still wanted to play, but after a while, I started realizing I take umbrage with the fact that it says in procedurally generated environments, randomly generated environments. I take umbrage with that because a lot of times when I would like have to redo a run, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
no, this looks exactly like what I just did. Like, I think you're lying to me. I don't think this is randomly
Yeah.
generated,
Yeah.
because a lot of the times, a lot of the stuff started like looking the same to me, and like it felt like I was
Yeah.
going on the same path a lot of times. So I don't know. I don't know what they mean by randomly generated, because I do think there was like a set path, like set areas and
Exactly.
stuff. Like I don't. That's how it felt to me, because like after a while, I started noticing. Oh wait, if I go left here, it's going to take me to this door, and I'll go through here. Oh yeah, if I go right here, like for me, like maybe I'm imagining this. Maybe it's just coincidence that I could take
Mm.
this left here, but it felt to me like there was a path and it wasn't random. I don't know. Did you
Yeah.
feel like it was random? Because for me, it didn't feel
No.
that way. I don't know if I was just playing it too
The,
much.
no, there were times where I think it did feel random, but then after a while, I was like, I feel like this is the same as before.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the exact same layout or this exact same robots. Nothing really new. It wasn't really until I think certain points, like where you move to a different like location, that I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
this feels a little different. But after a while, there were certain moments where I was like, huh, this feels a little the same. Like it feels like nothing's changed.
Yeah. I will say, like, the challenge rooms tended to change. I don't know,
Hmm.
like the purple challenge rooms.
Yeah.
I don't know how often you
Yeah.
stop to do them, or if you went out of your way to do them. Those always
Yeah.
changed, but like
Yeah.
those weren't even a challenge at all. I just
No, it wasn't.
it always felt more inconvenient doing those
Yeah,
than
exactly.
actually
Yeah.
a challenge. You know, it's like, oh, you want me to take this? You want me to crouch underneath this laser, or do you want me to dodge these lasers
Yeah.
to get to this chest so I can get a weapon or an upgrade or something? It always felt more inconvenient. Like, I guess I'll do it because I know there's going to be something at the end that might be good. But like,
Exactly.
whatever. Like, I hate like the challenge rooms just felt like they disrupted the pacing of the run when you have to go to those side areas and do those little challenges and
Oh
stuff. It
yeah.
always felt like it disrupted the pacing for me. I would do them because I wanted to see if I would get a better weapon or a better upgrade for like an
Hmm.
ability or something, but I did it reluctantly when I just wanted
Yeah.
to go through a level and stuff. So,
Yeah, I know with those purple rooms, like they to me they were never super difficult, and so I'd be like, oh, okay, I guess I'll just go in here, and then
mhm.
because like you said, I know there's a chest at the end, and then there's
Yeah.
this little thing that just sends you back to the beginning, this little pad
Little
or whatever
pad
that
that will
launches you
just
back.
bounces you back. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I would go in there like, all right, cool, and sometimes I'd be like, really nothing I wanted. So anyway, let's
Yeah.
get out of here and just leave, and then go into the next part of the level or whatever.
Yeah. That's the probably like the downside for me was just because those felt like they disrupted the pacing. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, what do you have any other uh
I'd
moments for
yeah,
you?
I would say, like I said, I think the choice of just weapons is great on here. I think it's really cool. I love the art style of the game. It has a really like I said earlier, just Borderlands type of art style in a way. Because I think for me, um, I'll I guess like the only thing that I kind of made me not play as much as I thought I would was just because like after a while I think it there were moments that felt repetitive as far as going through levels and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and I kind of felt like I didn't there came a point where I was just like I don't know I don't even feel like I need to continue going because I feel like I know what I'm going to get.
Mhm.
Which it's not a knock on the game because this game is it seems it's similar in a way to Rollodrome where the objective is not necessarily to get through the game but to just kind of turn your brain off and
Yeah.
play. And so after a while for me, I don't know if maybe it's because of playing Rollodrome and then going into Roboquest, it was kind of like, oh, two games where you kind of just turning your brain off in a way. And I was just like, my brain was like, what are we doing this for?
Yeah.
Type of
Yeah.
thing. And so I think uh overall I think it's good at what it does because it is fun when you're into it and you're just kind of like shooting, doing little slides, jumping up and grinding on certain little rails that you can grind on. That's pretty fun. But I think there came a point for me where I was just like, okay, like
Mm.
tell me why I'm doing this,
Let's tell you what.
which
Yeah.
you do get a little glimpse of it with the little animation, animating of the comics or whatever,
Yeah,
the little scenes.
they're almost like uh what visual novels, right? The cutscenes in
Yeah,
between, like their visual novel
yeah,
stuff. So they look great though.
exactly.
I think
They
the
do look
cutscenes,
great.
the
Yeah.
gameplay, they match the gameplay really well and stuff. And again, like
Oh yeah.
visually, it very much inspires Borderlands in a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
ways. I think the humor is very similar to Borderlands in a lot of ways too. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Exactly.
overall though, like for me, I this game was a blast for me to play. I loved it. Um, and yeah, so any final thoughts? I know you mentioned well, you already kind of covered it. The
Hmm.
repetitive nature kind of made you not want to play anymore
Yeah.
and stuff. So, any
Yeah.
other
After a
final
while,
thoughts? Oh, sorry.
no, I think beside no, no, you're fine. I think besides that, I think it's a game that it's pretty fun, like I said, to turn your brain off, and it is pretty cool. Some of the things that you can do with the weapons. The weapons are really well done,
Hmm.
and that makes it fun. And overall, I think it's a good game. I just like I said, I think after a while, I was just like, all right, I think I've had enough.
Breaks my heart. My final thoughts. I had a blast, and I look forward to playing more of it because I'm going to play more of it. So let us
Nice.
get into our list. For those who need a reminder, all the games that we play on Review Please Video Game Edition are on Game Pass, so you can always play along with us if you are interested in that. So right now, our list consists of 7 games. We have 7 games. I don't know where I'm going with this, so I'm just going to press ahead. For those who don't know, who are tuning in for the first time, we review the games and then we rank them against each other. Right now, we have 7 games on our list. My list looks like this. Number 1 is Starfield. Number 2, Rollerdrome. Number 3, Sea of Stars. Number 4, Cocoon. Number 5, Lies of P. And number 6, Arcade Paradise. Number 7, Amnesia the Bunka. And L's list looks like this. Number 1, Starfield. Number 2, Lies of P. 3, Sea of Stars. 4, Rollerdrome. 5, Cocoon. Number 6, Arcade Paradise. And number 7, Amnesia the Bunka. L, we're going to start with you.
All right.
Because I already know where I'm putting it, and it's going to probably upset you. So
it's going to upset me? Oh, no.
Where are you going to put Roboquest?
All right. So when looking at my list, I can already tell you it's better than Amnesia the Bunker. I apologize to those who love it. I'm always going to say that. I'm sorry. But it is better than Amnesia the Bunker.
Don't apologize to those Neanderthals that like Amnesia the Bunker. Fuck them.
Oh, my God.
They have no... If they like Amnesia the Bunker, they have no fucking taste. Okay, let's be real. I can't wait till we never have to say this fucking game again. Oh,
my God. And so I do think I definitely enjoyed it more than Amnesia the Bunker. I did enjoy it more than Arcade Paradise, but for me, I put it above Arcade Paradise because I did not enjoy this as much as I enjoyed Cocoon. And so it's at number 6 for me. Even though it is a good game for the game that it is. But I think Cocoon is a lot better for me. Now, time to hear where you put this list. Let's see where you put Roboquest. This is going to be very fun and interesting.
Are you looking at the doc?
Yes, I am. Oh my God. Really?
I'm putting Roboquest at number 1 because I just have had so much fun with it. More than I had with Starfield, more than Rollerdrome, more than Sea of Stars, more than Cocoon, more than Lies of P. I've had so much fun with Roboquest more than any of these other games on the list. Like, wow. I really am invested in this game. I love this game.
Wow.
I love Starfield. I love Rollerdrome. Sea of Stars, I voted just because I do think Sea of Stars is a good game. But Roboquest, this is gonna sound weird. Roboquest is the first game on this list that I absolutely 100% love.
Wow.
Where similar to our review please anime stuff, where my top 5, top 4 animes that I really, really love. Roboquest is the first one on this list where I'm probably gonna keep playing this game for the rest of the year and onwards. Maybe I'll play Starfield, maybe I'll play Rollerdrome. I'm probably never going to play Sea of Stars again. Probably won't ever play Cocoon again. Roboquest is a game that I see myself playing because I go back and play Hades all the time. I go back and play Slay the Spire all the time. I go back and play Inscription all the time. Even though Inscription can't surprise me anymore because I feel like I know every single thing about Inscription. But the Roboquest is falling into that category of roguelites where I see myself coming back to this and playing it over and over again. Just because it's doing something for me. I don't know how to explain it. It's doing something for me that makes me want to keep playing. So that's why Roboquest is so high on my list, because this is the first game that we've played and reviewed for Review Please Video Game Edition that makes me go, yeah, I love this game. I'm having an amazing time with this game. So this is the first one on my list. Yeah. I enjoy, I said I love Sea of Stars. I enjoy Sea of Stars a lot. I enjoy Rollerdrome a lot. But I'm so indifferent towards Rollerdrome. Oh, I misspelled Rollerdrome, by the way.
Whoops. Rollerdrome.
Rollerdrome. But it's scratching something for me that I didn't realize I needed. Does that make sense? So
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I get it. That makes perfect sense.
So
I definitely understand that.
Take it away while I do some math so we can do our overall list.
Wow, this actually caught me by surprise because I did not know it would be number 1. I thought it'd be in top 3, but I did not think it'd be number 1. But that's really interesting, really cool. So I definitely understand it. I mean, to kind of go off what Jesus was saying, I mean, that's how Lies of P was for me. That's why I ranked it so high. Just because I initially went into it thinking I was going to hate this game, but I actually almost in a way fell in love with the game just because of I had so much fun with it. Even though never enjoyed any Dark Souls game or even Elden Ring. But who knows? Maybe one day I might like them. But as of right now, Lies of P is the only one that I actually truly enjoy. That's so cool.
It's the only one you truly enjoy, and you ranked it 2? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, well, at the time when I did rank it, this is how I felt about it. Things have changed, but at the time when I ranked it, that's how I felt about it. So I stick with it. And this is gonna be interesting because the audience does not know what we're gonna do once we get 10 games. But I can't wait to reveal that to everyone. We're not gonna reveal it yet, but I can't wait to tell you all what's gonna happen with these games when we get to 10. It's gonna be a blast. Which we only have 2 more to go. And so when we get to 10, because anything, I'll just say anything is
the. I thought we were doing that at, you know, we're not going to talk about it because if we do it now, we'll reveal it. Okay. But our overall list.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy.
Do you see our overall list?
Gosh. Yeah, I see it. Oh my gosh.
Our overall list. Number 1 is Sea of Stars still with 15 points. Number 2 is a 3-way tie.
Oh my God.
They all have 11 points. Roboquest, Sea of Stars, and Rollerdrome. Number 3
That's not bad.
is Lies of P. Number 4, Cocoon. Number 5, Arcade Paradise. And coming at the bottom, Amnesia the Bunker. Amnesia the Bunker is somehow going to stay on this fucking list. Well, actually, no, it'll fall off once we...
Yeah, it'll fall off eventually.
It'll fall off completely.
It'll fall off
thank God. I was like, I had a moment of panic where I was like, this, because overall, everything's tying. It's still going to... But no, it's going to fall off when it's off our list because it gets no points at that point. So fuck Amnesia the Bunker. I'm tired of that stupid game.
Oh my God.
I'm tired of thinking about it. Tired of saying the name. Like every time I see it, it just fuels a fire of hate that I never knew I had.
Oh my God.
I don't think this bit, just so everyone knows, this bit is never going to die for me. I'm going to constantly say this. Even when Amnesia the Bunker is no longer on the list, I'm going to randomly be like, thank God this game's not Amnesia the Bunker.
Oh my God.
This bit is going to be beaten to ground until everybody hates it, but then come back around to love it.
I know.
That's my plan.
Whoa.
I know Elle's already annoyed by it. He told me off stream to never mention how much I hate Amnesia the Bunker, but fuck you, Elle.
That is not true. I did not say that. It's just, that game is not for me.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So one last time, because I rambled a lot there. Number 1 is Starfield. Number 2 is a 3-way tie. Roboquest, Sea of Stars, and Rollerdrome with 11 points each. Then number 3 is Lies of P with 10. Cocoon at number 4 with 8. Arcade Paradise with 4 points at 5. And then Amnesia the Bunker with 2 points because we have to rank it. So.
Yep. It'll fall off eventually.
Yeah.
It'll fall off eventually.
So
nice.
Yeah. Anyways, that is our list. Right now, because we are going to be taking a break after this, we will not have another episode of Review Please Video Game Edition until about April. I'm gonna be on the conservative side and say April.
Yeah.
I don't want to say March because Elle is moving and might still be trying to settle in throughout the month of March, and I don't want to stress him out with making him play a video game. So there's not really a game that we have listed for our next play. We are going to eventually play and review Persona 3 Reloaded.
Yeah, Persona 3.
Yeah. But that is going to take a while because that is a long game. If anybody's never played Persona games, they are very long games. Elle, do you have a game in mind that you would like to play, a smaller game? Or do you want to just wait until... do you just want to surprise everybody? Do you just want to surprise everybody?
It's funny you say this because there was like a couple games I was looking at, but I don't know if I am ready to announce it just yet. Because there are a couple, but I have to decide which one. Because I also want to keep this game short, but I want it to be like have some sort of like amount of time to play. Nothing like Persona level, but but something that I think will be fun. So not quite yet.
Okay. I do have one game that I'm going to announce here that I want to play, that I want you to play. And it's about a 2-hour, 3-hour experience. And that is a short hike. A short hike.
Oh, I see that.
You play a little bird. Yeah. You play a little birdie. And and
Nice.
I've been wanting to play it. It's been out on PlayStation for a while. Just got put on Game Pass a couple of months ago. But it's been out since 2021, and it's a very short game. It takes about an hour or two. And yeah, I'm interested in playing it. I've been wanting to play it, and I'm just now, since it's on Game Pass, no reason not to play it. So A Short Hike is a game that I'm going to have on my radar, and I'm going to say that'll be the first game that we play that we're going to discuss when we're back, just because it is a 1 hour experience. So well, you could get it out of the way now if you wanted to.
Nice.
But yeah, so A Short Hike. So be on the lookout. That'll probably go up in April. Until then, have fun. Elle, do you have any extra things you want to say? Reminders for them? Things to do?
No.
People to punch? Babies to... Never mind. I was about to say something bad.
No, I think that's it.
Babies to punch.
Everybody thinks... We can't wait to come... We can't wait to come back whenever we get finally settled in, because yeah, I'm ready to make this move. But yeah, too. But I think I can't wait to come back and do this as well as the pod. And so just keep playing, and we'll keep playing in our hearts.
That's fucking gross. Vomit inducing. Oh my god,
oh my god. But let me go ahead and wind it down here. Everybody, thanks for tuning in to Review Please Video Game Edition, where today we reviewed Roboquest. We will be back soon. Just stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube Respawn Please podcast. So that's where you'll see us, as well as follow us on social media. Respawn Please podcast on TikTok and Instagram. The podcast Respawn Please podcast is available everywhere you get podcasts, and we will be back soon once the dust settles, and we'll be back to keep on playing games with y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Wait, no. Yes. Bye.
Bye.